roar of engines echoed across the harbor. Navy officers stood in full dress uniform, their gaze fixed on the horizon as a sleek gray warship pierced through the blue waters. The BRP Miguel Malvar, FFG-06, had arrived. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr., standing tall on the pier under the blazing sun, looked toward the corvette as it made its final approach. The Philippine flag fluttered in the wind. "Today," he said into the mic, voice steady and proud, "we welcome not just a ship, but a symbol of our sovereignty. The BRP Miguel Malvar is here, not only to defend our waters, but to show the world. The Philippines is not to be ignored." Applause broke out, but beneath the celebration was a sober reality. The Philippine Navy, for decades overshadowed in Asia, is now racing to catch up in one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints, the South China Sea. At 118.4 meters long, armed with Sea Star anti-ship missiles, VL Amica air defense systems, and 3 DAESA radar, the Miguel Malvar-class corvette isn't just a patrol vessel. It's a message in steel and firepower. Its twin, the BRP Diego Silang, remains docked in Ulsan, South Korea, being readied for delivery. But even one arrival has turned heads. "This is not just about one ship," Teodoro continued. "This is about protecting our blue economy, our fisheries, our energy corridors, and our future. And to do that, we need a Navy that can bite, not just bark."
We do things daily. We have upgraded our operational security requirements from the Department of National Defense down the line.
Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, a key figure in the West Philippine Sea deployments, stepped forward during the ceremony. "These ships will sail where our rights are challenged. They will not flinch. We are sending them to the front lines." Trinidad wasn't exaggerating. Filipino ships and civilian vessels have been repeatedly harassed by Chinese Coast Guard vessels, hit by water cannons, and blinded by military-grade lasers. Every deployment now carries real risk. "This is not a drill," he told reporters later. "Our sailors are facing real threats, not simulations." Yet despite the shiny new hulls and advanced tech, security analysts warn that Manila still lags far behind. The Philippine Navy, PN, serves as the country's primary maritime defense force, tasked with safeguarding over 7,600 islands and ensuring sovereignty across vast territorial waters. As the seaborne component of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, the PN plays a crucial role in national security, humanitarian operations, and regional cooperation. For an archipelagic nation like the Philippines, maritime security is not optional, it's existential. The country's economy, food security, energy access, and national unity all hinge on the ability to control and protect its maritime domain. The Philippine Navy maintains a total force of approximately 24,500 active personnel, including around 10,300 Philippine Marines, who are vital for amphibious and territorial defense operations. It has a reserve force of about 15,000, ready to be mobilized during emergencies or national crises. This manpower enables the Navy to maintain a distributed presence across the archipelago, supporting maritime patrols, humanitarian missions, and regional security engagements. The strong personnel base, while essential, must be matched with modern equipment and training to effectively respond to the evolving threats in the maritime domain. Standing at the forefront of maritime defense, the Philippine Navy is evolving from a coastal defense force to a more formidable blue water navy. With around 90 combat vessels, the fleet is steadily strengthening, led by key additions like the Conrado Yap-class corvettes, which specialize in surface warfare and are critical for patrol and security operations. The arrival of the BRP Miguel Malvar, the Navy's first guided missile corvette, marks a significant upgrade, featuring Sea Star anti-ship missiles, VL Maikie vertical launch systems, and 3D ESA radar. Its sister ship, BRP Diego Silang, will further enhance the fleet's capabilities, For exclusive economic zone (EZ) enforcement, the Navy operates 6 offshore patrol vessels (OPVs), while 9 fast attack craft provide rapid strike capabilities essential for archipelagic defense. The Navy also maintains 4 Tarlac-class landing platform docks (LPDs), the largest vessels in the fleet, vital for amphibious operations, disaster response, and humanitarian aid. Complemented by a range of smaller patrol craft and 16 auxiliary vessels, the fleet is expanding to secure the nation's vast maritime territory. As newer ships join the ranks, the Philippine Navy is steadily transitioning into a more capable and strategic force in Southeast Asia, prepared to tackle both peacetime and combat challenges. Beyond its surface fleet, the Philippine Navy's punch is increasingly defined by its aerial and missile capabilities, signaling a bold step into modern warfare. The Navy operates around 25 manned aircraft, including BN Islanders for maritime patrol and BO-105 utility helicopters for surveillance, transport, and support missions. These aircraft extend the Navy's reach far beyond its ships, enabling wider surveillance of the vast Philippine archipelago. Adding to this are 8 unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, used primarily for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR, missions, essential in monitoring intrusions and ensuring maritime domain awareness. The Navy is also developing unmanned surface vessels, USVs, to complement its ISR capabilities, pushing forward its innovation agenda even in constrained budgets. What truly marks the Navy's leap into the future, however, is its entry into the missile age. As Vice Admiral Toribio Adachi Jr., the Navy chief, proudly declared, "It is exciting because now we can consider ourselves in the missile age, having fired our Sea Star missiles, our Spike ER missiles, Spike NLOS missiles. These include Sea Star anti-ship missiles, Spike ER for short-range precision strikes, and Spike NLOS, recently tested for long-range, non-line-of-sight engagements. Combined with a range of naval guns and small-caliber weapons, the Philippine Navy is no longer merely patrolling. It is now equipped to deter and respond. Supporting these assets is a decentralized and responsive command structure. The Navy is divided into 7 naval operating commands strategically located across the archipelago, each responsible for regional defense and operations. Among these, the Naval Forces West, NAV-4 West, plays a vital role in protecting the West Philippine Sea, the front line of Manila's maritime sovereignty. No less important is the Philippine Marine Corps, a 10,300-strong amphibious force embedded within the Navy and trained for both littoral combat and inland operations. Their equipment includes amphibious vehicles like the AAV-7A1 and DUKWs, as well as armored platforms like the V-150, giving them versatility from sea to shore. In flashpoints like Palawan and Zambales, these Marines serve as the Philippines' first line of defense on contested shores. Proof that the Navy's muscle is not just on the water, but ready to land and hold ground. With these evolving assets, the Philippine Navy is clearly transforming from a coastal defense force into a forward-leaning, tech-enabled maritime guardian, ready to stand its ground in an increasingly contested region. The Philippine Navy is no longer just patching up the old, it's building a force for the future. The ongoing modernization is structured in 3 strategic phases known as the Horizon programs. Horizon 1 and 2, already completed, laid the foundation, bringing in key platforms like the Jose Rizal-class frigates and Conrado Yap-class corvettes, which marked the Navy's entry into the realm of modern warfare systems. Now underway is Horizon 3, guided by the Comprehensive Archipelagic Defense Concept, CADC. This phase represents a major pivot from internal to external defense, aligning naval and air power to confront regional threats, especially in the South China Sea. The stakes are high, and so is the investment. The government plans to funnel up to 2 trillion Philippine pesos into overall armed forces modernization over the next decade. The Navy's wish list is bold, but necessary. It includes more offshore patrol vessels, OPVs, corvettes, and a potential 3rd batch of frigates, all critical for persistent sea presence. With undersea threats on the rise, Anti-submarine warfare, ASW, capabilities have become a top priority. The Navy is also expanding its maritime domain awareness, MDA, through surveillance aircraft and unmanned systems like USVs, vital in patrolling vast waters with minimal manpower. In terms of firepower, the Philippines is eyeing further procurement of the BrahMos missile system, one of the world's fastest anti-ship missiles. But perhaps the most game-changing aspiration lies beneath the waves: submarines. As AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Bronner Jr. put it, "It's a dream for us to get at least 2 submarines. We are an archipelago." Talks continue around acquiring Scorpion-class subs from France, potentially giving the PN its first-ever undersea deterrent. Recent developments signal that progress is real. In April 2025, the BRP Miguel Malvar, a guided missile corvette, officially joined the fleet. Its sister ship, BRP Diego Silang, is set to follow soon. Strategic partnerships have also powered growth. The United States transferred Hamilton-class and Cyclone-class patrol vessels, with more potentially on the way. South Korea has been pivotal, not only supplying ships, but also donating a Pohang-class corvette. Meanwhile, Japan's provision of patrol vessels to the Philippine Coast Guard has indirectly boosted maritime security, and Australia has stepped in with surveillance drones to extend monitoring range. In sum, the Philippine Navy is no longer content with coast-hugging patrols. It's thinking deep, far, and smart, and building the fleet to back it up. Despite commendable strides in modernization, the Philippine Navy continues to face deep-rooted challenges. A major hurdle remains the aging fleet, with some legacy platforms like landing ship tanks from the World War II era still in active service, highlighting a fleet stretched thin across modernization and obsolescence. In terms of numbers, the PN still lags behind its regional counterparts. While it now boasts modern frigates and corvettes, the overall size and advanced warfighting capacity remain limited, especially when compared to neighbors like Indonesia or Vietnam. Budget constraints pose another critical challenge. Though government allocations have increased, sustained long-term funding is essential to fully realize the Re-Horizon 3 vision and maintain operational readiness. Adding to the strain is the persistent gap in maritime domain awareness, MDA. Monitoring over 7,000 islands and vast exclusive economic zone waters requires far more assets and technologies than currently available. Maritime governance remains complex, often hindered by overlapping mandates between the Navy, Coast Guard, and other maritime agencies. This weakens unified maritime response and resource allocation. A 2021 ResearchGate analysis sums it up starkly. The Philippine Navy is among the weakest of the naval forces in the Southeast Asia region, and its power projection capabilities are very limited. If the Philippines is to adequately protect its maritime sovereignty in an increasingly contested Indo-Pacific area, it would be imperative to address these structural and strategic restrictions. Strategic partnerships have become a vital force multiplier for the Philippine Navy's growing regional role. At the forefront is the United States, with whom the Philippines has dramatically deepened defense ties. The two allies now conduct regular joint maritime exercises, including the newly formalized Maritime Cooperative Activity, and have ramped up security engagements. A powerful example was the January 2025 joint drill in the South China Sea, where U.S. carrier strike groups maneuvered alongside Philippine Navy frigates and air assets, a clear message of deterrence. Australia remains another core partner, with joint naval drills under the Sama-Sama banner and growing defense cooperation to enhance interoperability. Japan contributes through multilateral exercises and the donation of patrol vessels, strengthening maritime domain awareness. France and Canada have also joined key naval drills in the Philippine Sea, broadening the Navy's operational experience in diverse coalition settings. These engagements not only boost tactical readiness, but also signal a growing web of support for the Philippines in a region rife with geopolitical tension. The Philippine Navy, PN, plays a crucial role in defending the country's territorial claims. particularly in the contested South China Sea, West Philippine Sea. One of the most defining moments was the Scarborough Shoal standoff in 2012, which exposed the significant limitations of the PN at the time. During the standoff, Philippine ships were unable to directly confront the growing presence of Chinese vessels, leading to the withdrawal of Philippine forces from the area. This incident served as a wake-up call, highlighting the urgent need to modernize the Navy to ensure the protection of the nation's maritime interests. Another ongoing point of tension is the Second Thomas Shoal, where the Philippine Navy plays a vital role in maintaining a military presence on the BRP Sierra Madre, a grounded ship used as an outpost by Philippine Marines. The Navy faces frequent harassment from the Chinese Coast Guard, who employ tactics such as collisions and water cannon attacks to disrupt resupply missions. This persistent harassment highlights the Philippines' struggle to assert its sovereignty in this area, with the Navy facing a constant challenge in securing its strategic positions in the face of overwhelming Chinese pressure. In 2016, the Philippines secured a major legal victory in the International Court of Arbitration, which ruled against China's expansive claims in the South China Sea, specifically its 9-dash line. While this was a significant diplomatic win for the Philippines, enforcing the ruling remains a challenge. Despite the court's decision, China continues to assert its claims, and the PN, while strengthened by modern equipment and strategic alliances, must navigate a complex landscape of regional power dynamics and unresolved territorial disputes. Experts generally recognize the significant strides the Philippine Navy, PN, has made in its modernization efforts, but they also emphasize that the journey is far from complete. Many analysts highlight that sustained investment, both in terms of financial resources and strategic partnerships, is critical to ensuring the Navy's future effectiveness. A recurring theme is the shift in focus from internal security to more external territorial defense. This strategic pivot is evident in the Navy's increasing emphasis on strengthening its capabilities to defend the nation's maritime sovereignty in the face of growing regional tensions. In the words of the diplomat, submarines would represent a significant upgrade to the Philippine Navy's capabilities. This shift in perspective highlights the importance of advanced platforms like submarines in enhancing the Navy's deterrent and defense capabilities. Similarly, ABS-CBN News emphasized the importance of the new warships, stating that they represent a critical step toward developing a self-reliant and credible defense posture. These acquisitions, while important, are only part of a broader ongoing effort to build a Navy capable of defending the Philippines' vast maritime territory. Thank you for tuning in to our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.